Alright. um, so I recorded me talking, but I was having audio issues. Turned out the fix was me just simply unplugging it and plugging it into a different port. But anyways, so today I'm playing Dead Cells, and I actually had an idea for a series that I wanna do. Um, so since I've never sorry, um, since I've never actually beaten the final boss, the one in the throne room, um, I figured that I might do like so the series would be um me getting all 5 boss cells. So a single episode could be like this, like a single run or a couple runs. So like say run 2 to 6 could be like episode 2, I'm not sure. And then, so this would be season 1. Season 2 would be, the first boss cells. Season 3 would be 2 boss cells, and so on. So, yeah, that's the whole outline for the series. And just a side note, I'm sorry about the audio quality. You're probably hearing some static or an echo or something. Um, I'm not sure how to fix that. But anyways, so that's gonna be the series for this game anyways. And, the whole purpose of me doing this was because I'm thinking of, getting back into streaming, but I've been kinda hesitant, putting it off. Um, there's a whole mess of reasons why, I guess. Um, and my hope is with this series that it might get me into the flow of being more productive. Because there's more than just this I want to do. Um, I've been trying to get back into writing. So my whole thing right now is I'm trying to save up for a desktop, like an actual gaming setup. Um that's gonna be I uh, I wanna say a few months, maybe a year or two. um But yeah, I wanna do that because I'm on a laptop and it's on its last legs. I'm not sure how many more legs it has, but we'll see. So currently I'm trying to transfer all of my notes onto my into my notebook, and I mean like a physical notebook, not a digital one. And I just feel kind of better right now with it, like having a hard copy of the notes. Um, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a physical copy either. So, one reason I'm doing that is because things have a way of getting corrupted on my laptop, like the documents. So I had this 30-page story, or 30 chapter story, sorry. Um, and so I went to open it one day, and everything was gone. It was just a bunch of, like, letter characters. Like, they looked like, like Japanese or Korean, but there was also like those brackets, like, you know, the ones that kind of look like backwards, like they're used in division, not the ones that look like the capital E without the middle bit, but the like one that has like the knob sticking out, kind of like a door. That one. I'm not sure how it happened, and plugged in my external hard drive to like hopefully get the thing back, but that one was corrupted, and I'm guessing um that somehow I must have copied over a corrupted file without actually knowing it was corrupted. So yeah, that's the whole reason why I'm doing the physical hard copy. Um, and it's not like story notes, it's more like world building notes and lore notes, like why certain things are the way that they are, like why there's a whole river basically inside a cave inside of a mountain, and there's a tree. Um, that has really interesting implications in the story. But anyways, so I am recording this audio over top of the gameplay because for some reason when I record the gameplay and I talk at the same time, it just... So two things happen. Either the desktop audio mutes or gets really quiet and filters through the microphone. then I stop talking and it goes back to the desktop audio. Or, and before I recorded this, I recorded another one which was like 20 minutes, and I was speaking the entire time, but it only recorded like maybe a second or two of me actually talking, then nothing. So yeah, I'm not sure what that was. And if I don't stream, it's probably gonna be me doing voiceovers for the foreseeable future, cause I'm not a tech savvy guy, especially when it comes to, you know, recording stuff like the audio. I'm not good at troubleshooting those things. So yeah. But anyways, if I do stream, it's gonna be those runs, but you'll hear me talking to chat as well. And I wanna talk about like when I started streaming and when I started writing. So when I started writing, I'm in the toxic sewers right now. I know you can see, but someone told me just to narrate the things just because. So I went into the toxic sewers because so this game does something that I really like. When you don't go into a certain biome for a couple runs, it actually gives you an incentive to go there. Like it doubles the gold and the souls you can get from enemies, which I like. So that's the reason why I went into the toxic sewers. I don't usually like going into the toxic sewers only because, especially when you're cursed. Like, when you're cursed in this game, it's one hit and you're dead, but you have to kill like 10 or 20. And, if you take damage, you're dead. Like, that run is over. And anything, like, even if you get damaged by the toxic water or take damage to a trap, that still counts. So yeah, that's why I typically don't like going into the toxic sewers. And real quick, does anyone know what this is? Like, is that just for show or like, a, like, the mushroom boy or Maria's cat? Can you do, like, summon them to go through the tunnel? I'm not sure. Anyways, so, my first stream on Twitch, when I started, I didn't have a camera or mic. Whenever I do stream, you will see my PNG tuber. See right there, if I was cursed and took damage by that trap, the run would have been over. But yeah, so you'll see the PNG tuber, when I stream, and yeah, but I didn't have a microphone, and my first stream was, I wanna say June 16th, 2021, give or take a few days, maybe a few months. And I think it was a month after that I really started playing RPG games. Like, one of the ones, or actually the first one I played was called Elix by Piranha Bytes. And despite its flaws, it's one of my favorite games. I say favorite, but like basically every game I play becomes a favorite. But my friend was like, oh, don't buy Elix, cause like the Steam reviews are mostly negative. And yeah, they are, but they're mostly about like the bugs, like characters randomly T-posing and the janky controls. But other than that, it's a really well done game, and I just love it. And that's how I actually met my first concurrent viewer. Cause when he came in, he was like, I've never really, like, I don't see many people playing this. And, I mean, yeah. I just happened to be playing it one day, and he came in, and after that, he kept coming back. Even though I didn't have a microphone. And we kinda, I don't wanna say bonded, cause that feels weird. Saying like you bonded with someone over the internet. I don't know why, but it does. But we did kind of form, yeah, form a bond, and um, so he was like, if if you wanna become a streamer, like you're gonna have to sacrifice and either get a camera or a microphone. And I was communicating with him on the, like, in the chat by typing. So I told him, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just kinda uncomfortable on camera. Like, I've always been uncomfortable talking and being on camera, but I thought I would get a microphone, and like at that time I was still kind of on the edge about it, and he kind of talked me into it, I guess. And yeah, so couple of years after that, I moved from Ontario with my mom. And then when we got out here, I actually got a microphone, and at the time I was still doing streams on Twitch, but then I moved from Twitch to Kick, and I've been on Kick, ever since, but I haven't streamed since April of last year. My mental health just hasn't been there, cause like I said, the whole purpose of doing this is to hopefully get back into being productive. But anyways, on to the writing bit. So, you guys know, like, I, I don't know when it is you do it, but like, in kindergarten or grade 1, like, when you start, the piece of paper they make you do, like, what's your name and what do you want to do when you're older, and like people are usually like, oh, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a teacher. Mine was, I want to be a writer. I probably said something more like, I want to tell stories, which involves writing. And my love of the fantasy genre, excuse me, it started around kindergarten. My parents took me to see The Fellowship of the Ring in theaters. And the next day, I went into the vice principal's office, and I don't remember doing this, but my mom says I did. I recited the movie back to her. 'Cause she was actually sitting in the row in front of us, which I thought was cool. I don't know why I thought it was cool. But anyways, fast forward to grade 3, and I made a like fan fiction about WWE. As a kid, I was also not obsessed, but I was a wrestling enthusiast. So it was a triple threat match between Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and Sandman, who was more prominent on ECW, but he did have his stints like on Raw and on SmackDown. But it was for the heavyweight championship, and I remember it being like something like 20 pages long. I could be completely sorry. I could be completely wrong on the page count, but I remember it was longer than at least 3 pages. It was longer than 3. But so yeah, there was that. Then I started really working on my first world like a few years later. And so we went to, my family took a trip in the summer for like 2 weeks down to, I wanna say it's like Lake Dalrymple. I probably mispronounced that. But that summer we stayed in a cabin, and my brother and aunt took the train down, and I gave them the manuscript to read. And my aunt was a teacher, I want to say an English teacher. And she loved the story. Like, she gave me feedback, of course, because teacher. But my brother's like, you kind of like you kind of stole from Lord of the Rings and from Avatar. Because you know the speech where Jake comes to the tree with the biggest dragon thingy, flying thing, Ekran. Yeah, and he's like, the sky people have sent us a message. I used that speech in my story, and there was a chapter called The Angry Forest, which involved tree people. They didn't help the good guys. They kinda, cause they were corrupted by the Dark Lord, and they kinda attacked the good guys. Well, no, they were originally corrupted, but then they kinda snapped out of it, so they attacked everyone, good and the bad. But it was the good guys who were passing through the forest, and they had to deal with that whole ambush by the trees. And yeah, so fast forward again, I changed that whole story, and it was actually Lego themed now, cause I was obsessed with Legos as a kid, and I still am. I love playing Lego games, which you'll see me do a lot on the channel if you choose to stay, cause I want to also upload my VODs from streaming. But so the story was called, and you can read the story on my Wattpad or however you want to say it. But it was called The Great Battle of Fallen Wrath. But at the time, it was called The Great Battle of Lego City. And there was this one part where a dwarf died in a cave, and one king says to the other, like, oh, we can just rebuild him, and the other king's like, no, there was not enough time to do that. But anyways, so fast forward again, I think it was 2014, I got in touch with a self-publishing company on the West Coast, so in BC. And the consultant I got, he was a really good guy. Cool guy. By the way, what's the thing with the ghost? Like, do you get something for watching, or like, is that just an Easter egg to Castlevania? Somebody tell me in the comments, please. Cause, when I played, I was like, what's this? But anyways, so the guy told me, he's like, yeah, Lego is like really stingy about copyright, so basically anything Lego gets copyrighted. So you're gonna have to change the story if you wanna like publish. And I did, and fast forward to 2015, it was like a week after I graduated that it got published, so, and that was a month before I turned 18, and so I was really excited about that, just to like get something out there with my name on it that I was proud of. And then a couple of years later, the only review I ever got was on Amazon. Like, my book was in, it was on a Danish store. It was on the publisher's, storefront. It was on Amazon. It was on Apple Bookstore. A couple more things. But I only ever got a review from Amazon. And it compared it to a poorly written screenplay. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, you didn't listen, did you? I wish I could say I didn't, but I did, only because, like, that was the only one, and, I don't know why I listened, but, like, when I read it, I was, like, all of my confidence got instantly zapped away. So I took the book down, then my mom talked me into putting it back up, which, they had me pay like $40 to take it down, and then to put it back up again, and then I took it back down, and I still had to pay. And I spoke to a freelance editor, and she's like, that sounds like they kinda ripped you off. And, yeah. So, I ended up taking my book off the market. And then I started, I was still writing. Oh, here I go back, cause I saw an enemy, and I just like to get all of the enemies. No, actually it's a little bit further than this, but that's the reason. I just like getting all of the enemies. But anyways, so I was still writing at the time, and then I just, cause I used to write every day, basically when I got up to when I went to bed. I didn't burn out or anything, I just kinda stopped writing for a while. Like, I still did the odd note every now and then, but like, as far as actually writing, like, chapters, I didn't do that. So, and I did that for almost 10 years, and now I'm trying to get back into it, but like, oh, here I go back and get the enemy. But like, I feel out of practice, and sometimes I feel underqualified, which I know is kinda dumb, cause like, you don't need the degree to be a writer. I'm sorry, but you don't. I mean, maybe to make it somewhere you do, but anyone can really write, but it's whether or not you can turn a an idea into a story that is the problem. Well, not problem, but it's, the make or break thing. If you can turn an idea into a story. And, yeah, so I don't know if anything of this is making any sense. I'm kind of tired, and I feel like I'm just rambling on about nonsense. Maybe I'm not, but I feel like I am. But I'm pretty sure, cause like I said, I'm recording myself on top of the gameplay, not at the same time. So I think it's pretty much at the end, give or take. I know there's like, yeah. I'm just gonna, stop talking. But I really like that upgrade, the armadillo one that lets you parry as you dodge from like your backpack. But yeah. So I'm gonna end it there, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And if you have, consider, leaving a like and a comment, following if you want. But yeah, so again, this is gonna be a series. Um, and yeah, there may or may not be episodes that that are taken from stream VODs. So if you would like to see an episode before it gets uploaded, consider following on one of the stream platforms. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream again on Kick or on Twitch. Um, but I think I have both of them linked on my YouTube channel page. So yeah. Um, and other than that, I am gonna leave it there, 'cause yeah, I the video is almost over, so I was afraid I would continue talking after the video's over, but seeing that that's not the case, I'm just gonna, end it there. And if you have any questions about anything, you know, any helpful tips for the game, um, like, I used to do it where, like, if I got the power scroll, I did one in all three. So, red, purple, and green. But then I watched a video saying, like, if your weapons are, like, primarily green and red, like, only do those ones. And yeah, so I'm doing that. Again, if you have any helpful tips, or questions maybe for me to talk about in the next one, 'cause I struggle or not knowing what to talk about sometimes. Or, you know, yeah. Um, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.